Hello guys, my name is Abdullah Khan and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to solve the degree of polynomial problem from CodeChef. If you attempted this problem on CodeChef and couldn't come up with a solution, and if you're looking for a solution, you've come to the right place. So let me start by reading the problem. The problem states that in mathematics the degree of polynomials in one variable is the highest power of the variable in the algebraic expression with non-zero coefficient. Chef has a polynomial in one variable x with n terms. The polynomial looks like a0 x raised to 0 plus a1 x raised to 1 plus up to a n minus 2 x raised to n minus 2 plus a n minus 1 into x raised to n minus 1, where a I minus 1 denotes the coefficient of the ith term x raised to I minus 1 for all 1 less than equals to I less than equals to n. Find the degree of the polynomial. Note, it is guaranteed that there exists at least one term with non-zero coefficient. Input format should be such that the first line will contain t number of test cases, then the test cases follow. First line of each test case contains of a single integer n the number of terms in the polynomial. Second line of each test case contains of n space separated integers the ith integer I minus 1, sorry about that, corresponds to the coefficient of x raised to I minus 1. The output format is very straightforward. For each test case, output in a single line the degree of the polynomial. Let's take a look at an example here. I've taken an expression 0x raised to 0 plus 0x raised to 1 plus 5x square. Here n equals 3 because the total number of terms in this polynomial is 3. This is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. If you look at this array, it contains the coefficient from this polynomial. So 0, 0 and 5 are the coefficient from this polynomial. These are the indexes corresponding to the array elements. Now, to find the highest degree of polynomial, we have to look for a term with non-zero coefficient. So here we cannot consider this term and we cannot consider this term because it has zero coefficient. So the only term that we are left with is this one because it has a non-zero coefficient. Its degree is 2. So the degree of polynomial for this expression or this polynomial becomes 2. Now how do we find that, or how do we implement that programmatically? If you look at this array, it contains the coefficient from this polynomial. These indexes are same as the degree of the terms these elements belong to. So if you look at 5 here, its index is 2, it belongs to this term. Here its degree is 2. So programmatically we can simply return the highest index of any non-zero term. So here the non-zero term is 5 and its index is 2. So the highest degree of polynomial becomes 2. Let's have a look at another example. Here I have taken another expression 1x plus 2x raised to 1 plus 4x square plus 0x cube. N equals 4 because there are 4 terms in this polynomial. We already know to find the highest degree of polynomial we have to return the highest index of any non-zero element. So the highest index is going to be at the rightmost corner of the array. So we can simply start traversing from this rightmost end. So the first element that we will encounter is this 0, but we cannot consider 0. So we'll move to another element 4. 4 is not equals to 0. So we can simply return its index, which is 2. We can confirm that here we cannot consider this term. We can consider all of these terms. So the highest degree from these terms is 2. So the highest degree of polynomial from this polynomial becomes 2. If we look at the input format, we basically need three things: a variable t that will hold the total number of test cases, another variable n that will store the total number of terms in the polynomial, then an array that will store the n space separated integers, which will be our coefficients. I have implemented this problem in Java. You can use any other language. To store the number of test cases, I have created this t variable. Using this for loop, I am looping through this t variable. To take the user input for the total number of terms, I have created this n variable. This array called arr is going to store the coefficients. To take user input for each of its index, I am using a for loop. It is going to start from 0 and it is going to end at the last index of the array. You can use arr.length minus 1 to get the last index of the array. This arr.length is going to return the length of the array. I am reducing that by 1 to get the last index of the array. So if suppose the length of the array is 5, which we can get by using arr.length property, to get the last index, you have to subtract it by 1. This will give us 4, which is the last index. Now in this line, I'm taking user input for the coefficients. This highest variable of type integer is going to store the highest degree of polynomial. Now, as I have talked about, traversing from the rightmost end, my for loop starts at the last index and it will end at 0. Now, if the 8th term of the array is not equals to 0, that means we have found the highest degree of polynomial. As I have explained in the explanation part, the rightmost non-zero element will give us the highest degree of polynomial. Now I am breaking the for loop as we have already found the uh, highest degree of polynomial, so we don't need to continue the loop. Now you can simply print the highest variable.